months and was able to do so in the last second, you're out of your mind. Here it is. A diplomat briefed on the ceasefire negotiations between Israel and Hamas credited progress in the talks in part to the influence of President-elect Donald Trump, saying it was the first time there has been real pressure on the Israeli side to accept a deal. Who was ruining the deal? Who was refusing to abide by the deal? Was it Hamas? Was there more pressure necessary on Hamas? Was that the case, chatters? Did you learn nothing from my coverage for the past 15 months on this? You didn't hear anything? You just went, la, 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 can't hear you? No, Biden kept lying over and over again. Anthony Blinken kept lying over and over again throughout the entire process. There are numerous instances where I continuously showed you over and over again that Anthony Blinken would go on tour and openly state that it was actually Hamas that was the spoiler of the deal. It was actually not Israel that was the spoiler of the deal. It was Hamas. When we could see with our own two eyes who was actually spoiling the deal.
And in this moment, the only thing standing between the people of Gaza and a ceasefire is Hamas. They have to decide, and they have to decide quickly. So we're looking to that, and I'm hopeful that they will make the right decision, and we can have a fundamental change in the dynamic.
So one must ask the question, why was Anthony Blinken and Joe Biden actively defending the Israeli side of the conversation? And why is everyone saying Trump pressured Netanyahu? Come on, man. Y'all are out of your goddamn minds if you think that the Biden administration finally packed this up. 2 weeks ago, Biden gave $8 billion of arms to Israel. 2 weeks ago, January 3rd, working tirelessly around the clock for a ceasefire. I guess you genuinely believe that when they were saying it. The grossest side of this process is that Biden had all of the power. He is the president of the United States of America. He could have done this. He could have done this day one. He could have done this early October 2023. He could have done it in November. Anthony Blinken and Joe Biden actively sabotaged the peace talks, the ceasefire talks, and defended the Israeli side by lying to the public. Here it is. Blinken apparently tanks ceasefire negotiations by fabricating a story to make Netanyahu look good. One of the many lies the Biden-Harris admin told to shield Israel from criticism. This is from a Times of Israel reporting from a couple months back. He pointed to a meeting Blinken held with Netanyahu in August, after which the secretary announced that the Israeli premier had accepted a U.S. bridging proposal for a hostage deal. The Arab official, along with a member of Israel's negotiation team, told the Times of Israel that this was empathetically not what had unfolded in the meeting, and that Blinken's comments had thrown a major wrench in that round of talks, which ultimately fell apart. How many times do I have to show you the receipts? I mean, I was there. I was covering it in real time. Oh, yeah, this was a funny tweet from Ryan. If Democrats knew that losing the election might lead to a ceasefire in Gaza, they'd have fought harder to win. Credit where credit is due, okay? Teflon Don, he did it. The mad lad. He did it with a goddamn real estate developer he golfs with, too. That is how much power America has over Israel and not vice versa, okay? It's all a matter of who holds the cards. It's all a matter of actually pulling the levers of power if necessary, whether it is because you have a grander ambition for the region, a larger design for the region down the line because you got $100 million from Miriam Adelson to permanently annex the West Bank, or whether it's because you want to look good for your inauguration, or whether because you're a major Nixon head or a Reagan head and you really wanted to do exactly what they did back in the day because you have this tendency to reinstate old historical wounds of the Democratic Party in the way that famous Republicans have in the past. I don't know. It doesn't matter. What matters is Biden had all of the power to facilitate a ceasefire for 15 months, and he saw all of the baby murder. He saw all of the children being murdered. He saw the entirety of the Gaza Strip eviscerated, gutted with American weapons. And he said, $8 more billion, please, to the baby murder machine. On this day, we celebrate. You know, we celebrate what is to come, even if I am skeptical of the future. Okay, even if I worry about the future. But on this day, I will say,
may Allah awaken the people and help them to see the evil doings of Israel and the United States.
He woke up one day and said, you know, Allah is awakening the people. You look like the median voter right now. I am. I'm the median voter currently in this moment. In this moment, I've been the closest to a median voter as I ever have been. Okay. Really in your face for the ceasefire to take effect on January 19th, Biden's last full day in office. His administration will have maintained its commitment to Israel's genocidal war on Palestine until the very end. How about when Trump sanctions the ICC into the ground to protect Netanyahu? You're still going to sing his praises? If you think that I think Trump is in any way, shape, or form pro-Palestine, you are out of your mind. Okay. I like that everyone's position immediately in this instance is to act like the Democrats haven't been doing that already. already under Democratic leadership. What are you talking about? The Democrats have, alongside the Republican Party, already started the process. So what are you talking about? You know what they didn't do, though? Facilitate a ceasefire. So shut up. What is this argument? There is no defense for the Democratic Party on this day. There is no defense. It's just untrue. You can be critical of Donald Trump. You can on Donald Trump, and I certainly will for the rest of this day. But in this very moment, if you are reaching so far and wide that you make it seem as though Joe Biden had anything to do with this, aside from routinely allowing Israel to just do whatever it wanted over and over and over and over again, you're out of your mind. Yeah, remember the ceasefire button was a youthful TikTok fantasy. Here's Matthew Iglesias. I'm out of touch with the youth, but my sense is that there are now millions of pseudo-informed people gassed up on TikToks and Instagram reels who believe there's some kind of permanent ceasefire button in the Oval Office that Biden is perversely refusing the press. So what happened? What happened? Did Trump find the button? Was it next to the Diet Coke button? What happened? How do we hit the button? It seems like there was a button. Everyone kept saying, Hassan, you are so childish. You are so childish for making it seem as though this is just a simple phone call away. A ceasefire is a simple phone call to Israel, okay? Not the Hamas. No applying pressure to Hamas. Like, Israel is genociding the Gaza Strip. What more pressure can you do than genociding an entire area where 2 million people once lived? That's it. You've maxed out on the pressure. Ridiculous. By the way, make no mistake, if Trump is also able to overturn the TikTok ban too, oh my God, dude. Trump is going to give the Republican Party the Reagan advantage for generations to come, okay? And there is no liberal counter. There is no institutional counter to any of this stuff. He's just taking advantage of the ginormous failures, the patently and roundly panned awful decision making of the Democratic Party to make himself look good. The button was Bibi's candidate of choice for winning. You're out of your mind, dude. Benjamin Netanyahu has no say in this process, okay? All they can do is try and undermine American interests in the region. But at the end of the day, if America's like, oh yeah, you're going to continue killing people even though I want you to do this ceasefire, okay, how about no more weapons? What's going to happen when they don't get Tamir interceptors, dude? What do you think would happen if American cruisers and aircraft carriers in the region go, okay, we're turning around then? What do you think happens to Israel then? What do you think happens to Israel without the 2,000-pound bombs that we were consistently sending to Israel as they kept literally running out of ammunition because they dropped multiple nukes worth of munitions on Gaza? What do you think would happen to Israel if America was like, all right, we're not protecting you anymore then? Are you out of your mind? What is the Iron Dome without Tamir interceptors? It's nothing. There is no world where Israel gets to do what it's doing without every step of the way America saying, yeah, we love this. Keep going. We love it a lot, actually. Okay? We love it so much. Yeah, the Iron Dome without interceptors is an umbrella. It's not even an umbrella. It doesn't stop anything. The reality is the reason why nothing has happened for the whole time Biden was in power is because he's completely disabled. My friend is an intern in DC and young people are to talk. No, I mean, Biden's ineptitude aside, like, they wanted this. The Democrats, as an administration, wanted this to continue. The narrative for Hawks is now Trump is just better at applying pressure. I mean, is it wrong? Is that wrong? Is that the wrong narrative? No, the real narrative is there's a button that must have been pressed somewhere along the line. And Trump was like, yeah, it's done. Okay, I'll give you whatever you want later down the line, but just cut this out right now. That's what I think. Okay. In this brief moment, there is a moment of solace here, and there will most likely be a tremendous amount of pain that comes later down the line. Okay. But ultimately, is it false that Donald Trump, even when he wasn't president, was able to literally facilitate by applying pressure to Israel? Is it wrong? You got so much information coming out of the Biden White House where they actively told Israel, yeah, go blow up in Lebanon. It's great. We love it. You know, keep going. And even if you don't have insider information, you have outsider eyes to look at the situation. Every day there's another report of Biden being like, oh, I'm so angry with Benjamin Netanyahu. Here's another $8 billion of weapons, sir. That's crazy. Great, though. It seems like the same media apparatus that actively defended Israel's genocidal ambitions is now trying to reframe the narrative in an effort to give Biden credit 5 days before he leaves office, when he very clearly, openly kept lying at the behest of Israel over and over and over again. And it's great. It's great. You want to know why? Because people already don't trust mainstream media. Now they're going to go, what the are you talking about? We have eyes, we have ears, we have a brain. I can see what Biden